Hey guys, my name's SmartNinja000 and today I'm going to be going over all the features added in 17W50A. So be sure to stick around for that and stay till the end because that's when I'm going to be going over the biggest features. Now there's lots of little features in this snapshot, but just so you know, this is actually going to be the last snapshot week. So be sure to subscribe because I try to do these as soon as they come out now. This is obviously a bad example because this video is coming out a little bit late, and I'm sorry about that, so yeah. So first, the bug fixes. High efficiency tools, /fast mining, they now work. Items in hoppers now are detected by comparators. Piston heads aren't left behind. Items can be thrown into hoppers with the that's fixed. You can place kayaks underwater. You can now place boats correctly underwater. Carpets are destroyed instead of leaving an item. And of course, your cobblestone walls are fixed when there's a skull on top. Now, if you can remember, in the last snapshot, there was actually something called item tags which were added. And if you don't know what that is, check out the last episode video. And what's new about this is basically they allow you to, if you don't want to go check out the video, they allow you to detect multiple items without having to do multiple commands. So all the walls are cleared. Instead of doing it manually, there's lots of cool stuff you can do. Like, for example, this little recipe I added, which allows you to make. Oh, that usually works. So weird. Clicking it. But yeah, you can basically use the other stones to make lots of cool things like this. So there's lots you can do with it. It's really cool. But that's not what's added. What's added is actually over here. Yep. So what you can do now with them, they're slightly changed, and I'll explain how they're changed. So I just real quick made up some tags before the video. So I created logs, I changed wool, and I changed saplings. So now let's actually explain what I did. So from the first one, you can obviously see for wool, what I did is you can, if you want to add items, all you have to do is name it the exact same thing and just have your values, and you can add as many items as you want. So that is super nice. You can also now use item tags in your, when you define your things. So for wood, woods I believe it was, yes, I did logs, and so it's actually a combination of, where is it, planks and logs. So that's what that actually is. Now what I did for this one, the sapling actually grew. If I just grab all my saplings, I only wanted it to work with some specific. So, and the way, so if you do want to override it, you just have to add this little piece of code into your brackets with replace true. Now you probably saw a glimpse of it, but now you can use item frames on the ground and also on the ceilings. Actually, because of this, there's lots of cool little tricks you can do. You can hide items. You can hide pressure plates. This is actually a stone pressure plate. If you do this with a wooden pressure plate, though, you'll see what actually happens is quite hilarious. I can't. You'll see what actually happens. It's quite hilarious. It's always pushed down because there's an entity on top of it. There's some glitches with it, but I think it's kind of funny because I'm about to punch this, or I want to remove that item. I have to actually punch the outside. If I want to put an item in it, I'm right-clicking it, but it's not actually doing something. That's because there's hidden redstone, which I just broke. So it's really cool. Lots of possibilities with this. And now for the main attraction. The main attraction is, of course, this new thing. These are called local coordinates. So these are called relative coordinates. These are called local coordinates. Now you can't actually combine them. You can't mix world and local. This is actually relative, but there is some really cool things you can do with this. Now, what I go on to say that I should probably explain how these work. So if I want to summon a creeper to right in front of the player, there's no easy way to do this at the moment without detecting the way they're facing and using something called raycasting. But using these, I'm just summoning it 3 blocks in front of me, and it works pretty much perfectly. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, now let's actually explain what these do. So if you go onto the website, or like the article, it says that the first one is left. Now what this actually means is, I'll just go on F5. If I want to summon a creeper to the right of a player, you have to set let's go with the left first. So if I want to summon a creeper on the left of my skin towards the command block stack and the armor stands, I just have it in a positive number. If I want to do it to the right towards the other creepers, it's a negative number. And this works with it always, no matter where I look, it's always going to be to the player's right. So that is really cool. Now the next one's up, but up is a little bit hard to understand if you don't actually know what you're looking at. So let me just summon it 3 blocks, and you can see it's right above me no matter where. Except make it 5, and it just is right above me. There's nothing we can do to get around this. So it's nothing special. If you want to do down, it's obviously negative. So that is not good on its own. Now when you'd actually use this is if I just summon my creeper. Now the last one is forward. Now what that means is if you want to summon a creeper, like let's say 5 blocks forward, well that's a bad example because it's in the ground. 5 blocks forward, it is 5 blocks forward. But now it's time, and if you want to summon behind you, there's a creeper behind me. Let me just summon another one so you can see. Oh, I'm looking. It's a little bit hard to see because, there we go. I think I'm summoning them, no. It's a little bit, am I summoning them on the ground? There we go, so you can see what's happening. It's a little bit tricky to figure out the way it works because behind you also, but anyways, what you can also do is, now let's say I wanted to summon it 5 blocks forward, 5 blocks up. That's when you use it this way. So it's always going to be 5 blocks forward and 5 blocks up. Now you could use execute offset your coordinates, and then you do up 5, and then you do run summon creeper 5. We still get pretty much the same effect, so it's just nicer and a little bit more enclosed. Okay, so now it's time to explain how to actually detect this with an execute command. So when you're doing this, you're going to try, the first thing you're going to try is you're just going to try execute at e type equal armor stand, or whatever your entity's name is. You're going to try run summon your creeper. Use your nice little things to summon it right in front, and I should probably not add an extra space. And you'll see, why is it over there? That's so weird. Where'd it go now? I don't see it. You might even go like this. No, I'm purposely flying into really weird positions, and you might try something like this. And if you haven't realized it yet, it's based upon the player. So what you can assume from this is that it uses as. Now here's where it gets even funnier, guys. You might be like, why'd it go over there? Now why is it always at the players? So what's actually happening here, if you didn't realize it yet, is as saves the player's rotation. Now that means that if you want to have the creeper summon right in front of that, you need to do a super simple fix. You want to do as your entity at type, and then you want to do this. You cannot switch as and at. The reason for that is then it will go from the players, or then it will be from the players facing. You have to do it in this order. It's a little bit confusing, but you'll notice your creepers are always going to be in the same spot until they reach the limit, and then they blow up. Is there no cram limit? There we go. And of course this works with all armor stands in all directions, so there you go. Okay, now if you're new to my channel, then you won't know this, but I really like my command blocks. So that's why I had to use this in some sort of simple command way, and couldn't really think of anything, so I just made an armor stand that tracks the player. Once you just get close enough to it, it will sort of follow me. It doesn't really use too many complicated commands, and it's super easy just to outmaneuver by armor stand. And it only uses this once, which is just teleporting it forward. In case you're wondering, I detect from a location. So if I'm standing here, which is this negative, is negative. The first one, yeah, it's negative. So I'm facing here, then it will adjust it so it's facing this way. That's just the way that works. It's pretty simple stuff. Just change the rotation, and this I just execute as, and then I just teleport it ever so slightly forward. I'm not just out of tricks just yet, so of course I have to do something else with creepers, because creepers are the entity of today. Did all of them just despawn? Oh my gosh, I didn't kill them, I swear. So many despawned. But what I did is what you'll see in a second. Yep, I made creepers, whichever direction you're facing, creepers spawns right below you. So you can use this to launch yourself in the air. Let's get a nice... Of course, if that's not good enough for you folks at home want a better experience, don't worry, I got you. Now, what this actually does, this is really cool. So instead of looking where you want the creeper to be, you have to look where you want to go. In case you can't tell what's happening, let me go at F5 for a better view. It's summoning right behind us, but the thing is, because of the way it's entered into the command block, it summons opposite of where we're looking. This means, now that was actually a bad example, it is always going to be the opposite of where we're looking, so therefore, let me just grab some more. It's actually going to be right behind us, and when you're launched, it will launch you in the direction you want to go. Now, there's a few exceptions to this, but I haven't found them yet. Obviously, if you would just, so I mean, if I try and go up now, it's too late. I've already taken too much velocity down. So that is pretty cool, though. Okay, just real quick, the way it works. I just summon a creeper with 0 fuse at the player's first I detect at the item, then I do it at the player, I summon it, and then I kill the item right away. So technically, I'm just testing for an item, and then I'm doing it from the player. So, yeah, real simple. Okay, well that's it. For this snapshot, I mean, there's not much else to it. Local coordinates are such a big deal, but if you don't know, a little backstory about them, I believe they were originally released in Bedrock Edition, which I think is Windows 10. I'm not sure, I don't play on that. I play on Java Edition, which is what we're on right now. But, I mean, it's pretty great. It's going to be a huge help for command blocks, because this allows simple raycasting. If you don't know what that is, just go watch any of the thousands of videos on how to raycast in Minecraft. But that's pretty much it. The tag fix is super nice because it allows lots of really cool stuff you can do with it. I like that. These item frames, this is just amazing. I love it. It's got such potential for Minecraft maps and whatnot. Lots of cool tricks you can do with this. I really like this thing. You can then theoretically make nice carpets. You could do that with wallpaper. Here, let me just grab one of these, and you can see what I'm talking about. But this is half filled. That's not a good example. But people would use item frames for wallpaper. I do not suggest this. It's super bad. It's super laggy. But if you want some nice wallpaper, you could easily do that. Now you can have nice floor tiling, so it's all great. I think it's going to be really awesome to see how it plays out in how builders use it. I mean, having a giant map room in your base, that's going to be pretty cool. And I think it'll be awesome to see how it's used, because I mean, just using the simple little screenshot of me that I converted into a map, that is already a pretty cool flooring. Who wouldn't want to have a flooring of them themselves? Or you could even just do now, that doesn't look as good, but yeah, it's still pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys are new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing, and be sure to check out my channel, because soon, hopefully, after the last snapshot for 2017 comes out, that's probably when I'm going to work on it. But I want to make a data pack tutorial teaching you every single thing you need to know about data packs, so be sure to subscribe for that. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and it helped you, be sure to hit the like button, because you doing that, it's really simple. It helps me. That's pretty much it. Share, subscribe, and play Minecraft.